see no old business pending, and under new business, I would like to ask for cultural tourism, Molly Jarvis, to come forward. And before we get into discussion of this item 1, I would like to have a motion and a second to go into discussion, and then I have the statement. I have a motion for motion to open for discussion.
Motion by Frankie Hargis.
Thank you. Thank you, Molly. I do have a statement before we begin. And I would like to say, councilors, first that I'd like to open our discussion with a brief statement. And I want to outline how I intend to conduct this meeting. And I want to conduct it in a manner consistent with our rules and our long-standing practice. And it has been the long-standing practice of the council to deliberate and debate the issues with each other as elected representatives. Our job is to give voice to our constituents. From my perspective, each of us does that. We do our level best to do that at every meeting. So as with any meeting, I intend for us to do our jobs today and debate and discuss the issues on our agenda as council members. One of the committee members requested that a particular spokesperson for the Cherokee National Treasures be given the floor to address the committee. This is unnecessary, and I do not intend to conduct the meeting by opening it up to spokespeople. We can be productive and effective by doing our jobs, representing our constituents, and engaging in discussion with each other. Again, that is our long-standing practice. To the extent the Cherokee National Treasures have spokespeople, it is primarily the members of the council. Each of us represents one or more of the Cherokee National Treasures, and we are capable of listening to their concerns and the concerns of other artists and bringing these concerns to the committee. The Cherokee National Treasures also have a committee, and it's established by law and acted by this council. The Cherokee National Treasures Committee members appointed by the chief and then are confirmed by this council. I have faith in the Cherokee National Treasures Committee. I serve on that committee in an advisory capacity. Through this council and through the Cherokee National Treasure Committee, Cherokee National Treasures have ample ways to voice their concerns. And it is true that from time to time, council invites people to appear before us and give input. This is generally with representatives of the administration or CMB, over which we have a constitutional oversight role. Less frequently, we invite non-government and non-CMB officials. Those rare occasions are usually when we have some unique presentation to be offered. The council historically has not, however, simply granted the microphone to citizens to offer suggestions or complaints. Instead, we get that input through our day-to-day contact with our constituents, and we bring those concerns and ideas to the council. This is how we have managed the work of this body, and I believe it serves us well. And insofar as the issue in the Cherokee National Treasure Program, it would be unwieldy and unfair to invite any particular Cherokee National Treasure to be a spokesperson before this council. And I say that with all respect to the Cherokee National Treasures, not only because I am one, but also because I have a deep respect for our program. So for these reasons, I will limit the questions and debate to members of this committee and will limit the presentation to Molly Jarvis, as the Cherokee National Treasure Program is supported by her department in CNB. With respect to the issues, we are to discuss the Cherokee National Treasure Program and the Cherokee Art Market. This discussion was requested by Councilor Crittenden. I respect his right to request a review of the program. However, I do want to make 2 points. First, these 2 issues are completely separate and distinct. Cherokee National Treasures certainly participate in the Cherokee Art Market, but the art market is not exclusively for Cherokee National Treasures. The art market is its own event with rules and practices that are widely familiar with those of us who are heavily involved in art markets. In fact, the high standards used by our Cherokee Art Market is one reason that it has a strong and growing reputation in the Native art community. Second, I think that both programs are operating well. Cherokee National Treasures have more opportunities today to teach their art forms and sell their creations than ever before. We should all be very proud of that. But of course, no program is perfect. However, with very few exceptions, the feedback I get from Cherokee National Treasures is that they are proud of the program as well. With respect to the Cherokee Art Market, I can tell you that it is well respected. I speak from real-world experience. I have been attending and selling my work at art shows for over 20 years. Art markets that are respected and have strong reputations are art markets that attract lots of patrons and lots of great artists from other tribes across the United States, not just our tribe. The Cherokee Art Market has high standards, which helps explain why it is so well respected. If we erode our standards, we will weaken the art market and our artists will suffer. Now I would like to yield time to Molly Jarvis for a presentation, and after her presentation, I will offer each member of this committee an opportunity to ask questions. And I turn it over to Molly Jarvis. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I provided in your packets today a summary overview of the history of the National Treasures program and supporting documentation, including the bylaws, standards of conduct, policies that are supported under this program. So the Living National Treasures Master Craftsman Resolution was passed by the Council in 1988 and was amended in 2009. Cherokee Nation businesses assumed financial and administrative management of the National Treasures program in October 2015, so just 2 years ago, and prior to that, it was managed by Cherokee Nation Education Department. In the past 2 years, CNB has managed the budget and administration of the program, while the actual program is managed by the 5-person National Treasures Advisory Committee. In the past 2 years, the advisory committee has reviewed and updated the bylaws. We have clearly communicated and updated the standards of conduct and mentor program policy, as well as many other documents and the budget. The advisory committee is currently focused on management of the mentor program. We currently have 11 treasurers who are actively teaching
11 out of
the
52.
annual December holiday treasures luncheon, the annual selection of new treasures, and communication to all treasurers via a newsletter that comes out immediately following each committee meeting, and an orientation for teaching for new treasurers. And we are actually holding the annual orientation for treasurers this afternoon following this meeting. And I think one of the things I've been most excited about during the last 2 years is the increased level of communication and opportunities for treasurers. As I mentioned, we have a regular newsletter that goes out via email and regular mail to all treasurers, updating them on activities that the treasurers are involved in, upcoming events, and any just news about treasurers or things like the Cherokee Art Market or other events. So I think this newsletter has tremendously increased our communication level and the opportunities available to treasurers to participate.
Are the treasurers allowed to come to the meetings?
Excuse me. Wait, she's not quite finished.
I would just like to ask a question. Are the
Save
treasurers
their questions,
allowed
please.
to come to the committee meetings?
Point of
We
order.
have had guests at the meetings. I believe they're open.
That's their business. I've been hearing from a lot of them that they'd like to. Do they have access to the bylaws?
Sean,
Yes.
I'm chair of this committee, and I would like for Molly to finish her presentation before we
One
ask
thing I'd
questions.
like to add is we had a agreement between Speaker, you and myself, that these treasurers would have a voice today and that a spokesperson would be allowed. And to me, that's not even fair. A spokesperson. There's treasurers here that want to be heard about the organization, which is theirs. So I fully expect that there will be some treasurers or a treasurer allowed to speak, because
All right.
that was our agreement. And if the time wasn't allowed long enough, because I wanted to move this thing back a few hours, but no, we'll have plenty of time. But if there's not plenty of time, and when's it supposed to end, noon? There's not going to be plenty of time. So then we agreed if there wasn't plenty of time, we would have a special meeting where the National Treasures and whoever wanted to attend us could happen. So is that still the plan?
I don't believe that we agreed to a special meeting.
If
We
time didn't allow,
discussed it.
Speaker will back me up on that.
But
Speaker will back me up on
as
that.
a national treasure,
If you look, yes, well, wait a minute. If you look, I was chairing the meeting for the chair lady here last time. and you wanted to.
We talked last time.
But you wanted to amend the agenda, if you remember, it's right here in a minute.
Right, and I really wanted
The
to.
agenda to have more time.
Right,
I said, this probably calls for a special meeting.
but I had questions.
Well, let me
that day.
finish. I said, this probably calls for a special meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Remember? Because it's written down right here. If you look at your report.
I know, I wanted.
Okay, well, but you're not letting me
questions
finish.
Let him finish.
And then I said, and you didn't listen to me.
Well, that's not my job to listen to you.
Well, then why am I speaking?
Now here,
Well,
speaker that day, I had questions.
I said,
Sean. And
I said, Sean, why don't we have a special meeting?
and I'm still on
And you
board.
said, no.
I'm still on board with
And you said, no.
Well, no. I meant I
Because-
wanted some questions answered
Yes,
that day.
but you wanted a special meeting.
Don't
Okay,
you?
and I was going to
Don't
grant
you?
you that, then you wanted to amend the agenda.
This is getting out of order.
Yeah.
This is getting out of order.
Yeah.
It really is. And I know the rules state that every council member during a committee meeting has to be acknowledged by the chair before speaking. And I think that everyone will have a chance to speak.
Okay.
But